Hello again guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity. I think it is time that we actually went and built our quarry. Just thinking back, I think the quarry is one of the very first machines that I ever learnt to build in TechIt, and I think it was seeing the quarry that actually was one of the things that really got me interested in TechIt in the first place. And it's usually one of the first items that I build, and it's been a little bit delayed in this particular series, but I think it's time to go ahead and get one now. Now, in order to build it, you do need to get a hold of quite a few diamonds, which is the thing that makes it a little bit of a pain, because you need a diamond pick, and you also need 2 diamond gears as well, so that's 4, 8, 11 diamonds in total to build the quarry, so it is a little bit of a pain. Iron gears, golden gears, so in total we need to build ourselves 7 gears. So let's do that to start with. We're going to need some wood. There's probably some in this chest, so there is indeed. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a few sticks. There we go. And we said we wanted 7 gears, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should be enough. Sounds like we've got creepers or zombies or something outside. So there we go. We've got the wooden gears. Now we need 3 iron gears. Now we have to make them all. Of course, the golden gears are slightly different because they start with iron in the middle. My bad. Well, we'll be using the other gears for other stuff. Now that's saying that the iron gears are a little bit different. There we go. It can be done with a stone gear. I think the gold gear can as well. Yeah, it can. I was going to say, there's several different ways of doing it, but what is out there? I don't even want to go out there. Okay, I'm going to stick to the way of doing it that I know of doing it. Let's take some stone. Let's go back in here. We want to take all of our stone gears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the thing, once you've got lots of different mod packs, you end up with lots of different ways of doing things. So we have 7 stone gears, and now we want to make... it's a zombie wearing a hat. Apparently it's a zombie wearing a hat that I already possess. Let's go in and shut the door. And get rid of all the zombie junk that I've picked up instantly. So, where were we? Iron gears. And diamonds are made by gold gears and iron gears and so on and so forth. Of course, you can't just get 1 iron ingot surrounded by several gold ingots, which we can do. Okay, so let's make sure we've got some gold, and we'll go and macerate and smelt that up. There is some gold, actually, in the chest upstairs, I think. 2 things that I probably should do. One is build a rotary macerator, although I don't think that it's available anymore. No, there's just the macerator. There's no longer a rotary macerator, but one thing that I really should build at some point is the induction furnace, because that would allow us to smelt things up a lot more quickly. While that's doing its thing, let's go ahead and grab some more iron. Again, there should be still plenty in the smeltery. Yeah, we've got 46 ingots in there. There's loads. So we'll go ahead and we'll just pour it in onto the luggage, because it shouldn't be in there to begin with. Although that's probably then going to make it impossible for me to get the stuff out, because we're encasing the luggage in molten iron. So we'll grab the iron. I'll actually start pouring a second block, because you never seem to have enough iron bars in this game. So we want to make 3 iron gears, which is going to be easy enough. And then we want to make 4 golden gears. There we go. So let us go ahead and do that. So we'll split these down into iron ingots. Like I said, there's probably a load in there, and there is already. So we want to take 3 of our stone gears, and we want to make these into iron gears. Like so. 3 iron gears, and we'll just put that back there. We'll probably put those stone gears safe, and what we'll do is we'll just use the iron ingots surrounded by stone to get the rest of it, so I don't think we actually need the rest of the stone itself. One thing that I will do while I'm here, just before going back upstairs, we'll take the wood, we will build ourselves a couple of well, we'll have 4 chests because we'll build a couple of double chests. And the reason for this is obviously I'm going to need somewhere to pipe all of the stuff into. Now, my original plan was to... I'm going to need some more transport pipes as well. My original plan was to have a big pipe that pumps all the way along to the house from the quarry and have a sort of a sorting station in the house. That's still the long-term plan, but obviously we don't have a sorting station yet. So what the current plan is we'll just have a couple of chests over near the quarry itself, and it'll empty quite slowly, so I'll be able to... Oh, sorry, the chests will fill up quite slowly, so I'll be able to empty them out manually, so that won't be too bad. I'm going to take these 3 peat-fired engines. In fact, I'm just going to take 2 of them. Don't think we'll need all 3. We'll take the rest of the peat that I have here. I don't have any more cobblestone transport pipes, so let's go ahead and take a few blocks of glass there. I also need a couple of levers as well, because I'll want to make sure that I've got a way of turning them on and off. Let's just go ahead and put the gold in the electric furnace. And, oh, shouldn't have been looking at the floor there, because I got a little bit turned around. So, let's go back down here. Let's, oh, I shouldn't have put that cobblestone away. So, let's go ahead and make ourselves some transport pipes. You can never have too many transport pipes. As you can see, I've got absolute stacks of it now, but that's fine. I'll keep the cobblestone there for a second because I need to make myself... 2 levers is probably enough. Oh, you're going to stay in the crafting table now. See, I am lazy, and I've got to a point where to take stuff out of the crafting table, I literally just walk away from it, and I can't do that now with these crafting stations. So we've got the diamonds, we've got the redstone, we're just waiting on the gold, which is going to take a little bit of time. So we need to go ahead and make 4 golden gears, so let's go and grab 4 iron ingots, which is easy enough. And then we will surround that with the gold ingots. 1 too many there. So that gives us the 4 golden gears, we'll put the spare gold ingot there, and then... we're going to need 11 diamonds. Only leaves us with 5 left. We're going to need 1 of those to make the portal into the twilight, which we will eventually. First thing we need is a diamond pick. So let's go ahead and grab the diamond pick. And then we need to use 2 of our golden gears to make the diamond gears. And I've messed up slightly there. There we go. We have 2 diamond gears. Now, we also need a piece of redstone. So, 1 piece of redstone. And what I'm also going to do, just very quickly, simply because I don't like leaving stuff lying around in machines, because I always forget about them. Take the rest of that gold out there, go and put that downstairs. So, we've got our engines, we've got our peat, we've got pretty much everything we need, with the exception of 1 thing, which is kind of separate from the quarry, but still needed. So you can go in there. So let's go ahead and build the quarry first. Make sure we've got this right. So it should be the 2 diamond ones in the corner. The redstone at the top. These are the iron gears. These are the gold gears. And this is the diamond pit. Now, can we use the broken one? Does it have to be a mint one? It does have to be a mint one. I was just checking. I was going to be cheeky, and if it only you could have used one that was already had some durability damage, I'd have obviously kept the fresh one and gotten rid of the one that had already some damage on it. But that's not going to work. I'm going to need to get. I'm going to pick up 6 pieces of redstone and 3 pieces of lapis. This should be able to work. And what we want to do, we want to make ourselves 6 redstone torches, which we can't because we don't have enough sticks. So we want to make ourselves, 6 redstone torches. Like so. And then 3 of those we're going to put next to some lapis and make landmarks. Now, I only need 3 landmarks, but we've pretty much got everything that we need ready to go. So let's go up to where we want the quarry. There we go. You see what I mean about having to put some sort of marking so I know which floor I'm on. So, time for the quarry. And like I said, this quarry is probably going to end up breaking down into the chasm that sort of runs below, but that's fine. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. And so we did clear a nice big space for it. So where do I want the quarry to start? Well, let's make sure we've got our landmarks here. Now, the maximum size for a quarry is, I think, what it used to be, unless it's been changed, 64 by 64. Doesn't mean to say that it hasn't changed in a previous mod. It might well have done. Now, putting down a single landmark does nothing, but the reason I bought some extra redstone torches is if you put a redstone torch next to a landmark, it does that. And then you can actually trace the lines out and see... I mean, these lines just basically carry on going. But it does make it a lot easier to actually line things up and see where they go. So I can go all the way over here if I want. I don't think we want a terribly massive one this time around. But let's go ahead and just put another redstone torch there, just so I can plot the other landmark out in this direction. And I think going up to here is probably reasonable for our first one. It does miss that area out there, but we'll sort that out later on. So we've now got 3 landmarks in place. I'm just going to go ahead and break the redstone torches because I don't need those down at the moment. But it's a good way. I've seen a lot of people who will put down one landmark and then they're trying to count squares, or they keep turning around to try and make sure they're in alignment with the previous landmark. You don't need to. Just put a redstone torch down next to it and follow the lines. It's a lot easier. So there we go. We have our 3 landmarks down. Now if I right click on one of them, it should go ahead and they should all... really line up. I don't know why it's only done it with the one. It used to work. Maybe you actually need all 4 now. Is that something that's changed? Not entirely sure. Well, let's go and let's put the quarry down anyway and just see what happens. So the quarry used to go, I think, next to the line, or was it on the line? Next to the line, I think. Yeah, the quarry goes next to the line. Now, as you can see, the quarry's gone down, but it hasn't actually gone down where it was supposed to go. So we're going to get that up with the pickaxe and hopefully get the entire quarry back. Well, the BuildCraft stuff's alright to break with the pick. It's the industrial craft stuff that sometimes screws up. Let's try next to the actual landmark. There we go. Put it down next to the landmark and luggage eats it, but that worked. So we didn't actually need all... we didn't need to get 4 landmarks. I'm going to try and get to it before luggage does. I did. Will I get to this one? So we actually have our border now. Luggage, come here. So let's go ahead and grab the other landmark. Fantastical. So I'm going to have the engines right next to the quarry itself. I haven't really left myself much room to build here, have I? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have... I think you can have the engines on any side, to be honest. So I'm going to have one engine here on the side, and I'll put the other engine on the other side. I could have put them right next to each other, sort of side and front, just so that I could have used one lever to work both of them. But having separate levers is not a bad thing. And I think what we'll do is we'll put the chests down over here, just so they're sort of out of the way. So we're going to have one double chest there, and we'll have one double chest here. And we've got loads of transport pipes. Now, you don't actually need to have a wooden pipe, because this is one of those machines that automatically outputs. So you don't need to have a wooden pipe, a wooden transport pipe. So we're going to go over here, sort of level with the chests. It's going to look very ugly, but that's fine. That's what Minecraft's all about, making things that look ugly. Is that in line with the chest? It is. So the one issue that we are going to have, of course, is that it won't wait until one chest is full before moving into the other. This sort of configuration, what will actually happen, because of the way that BuildCraft pipes work, is when it gets to this point, the stuff will split sort of evenly and go, some will go that way and some will go that way. So it's getting dark. We're just going to go nip back to the house and sleep it off. Okay, it's the start of a new day. We can now start up our quarry safely. Now remember, if you actually put down the landmarks and anything is within these yellow and black sort of warning markers, because I could have done, for example, if I'd have put the landmarks further this way, then these blocks here would have been within the destruction area. And what happens is, before the quarry starts digging down, it gets rid of any block in this area, and that block just gets destroyed. You lose it. You don't get it back. So make sure there's nothing there important that you want. But it does mean that you can start quarries underground and stuff like that, which can be quite useful. So let's go ahead and put some fuel in these. I'm just going to split both of these blocks evenly to make sure they've got us about the same amount of fuel in each. So 41 and 40 is about as close as we are going to get. Let's flick the switches and see what happens. It is doing something. Oh, I see. That's new. It's actually throwing out the blocks to make the quarry frame. There's various different ways that this happens. Sometimes it's done by it used to be done by like a little robot that flew around and fired a laser at it. That's quite new. I've never seen that before. Certainly seems to build a lot quicker than it used to as well. Now, bear in mind, if the reason you're building a quarry is that you want to... Yeah, see, it's not the fastest thing in the world. If the reason you're building a quarry is that you want to get to the rare stuff down at the bottom, then what you might want to do is make a smaller frame, because obviously if it doesn't have to dig out all of these blocks of dirt first, then you're going to end up with a much deeper hole much more quickly. Whereas a large quarry like this, you'll end up with a lot of dirt and a lot of stone. But I want a lot of dirt and a lot of stone, so I'm quite happy to let that carry on and do its thing. Now remember that the quarry can basically break any block and pick up anything with the exception of bedrock. Now, it will stop if it gets to lava, but not if it gets to water. So what you can do, and a lot of people tend to do this, is either start a quarry in water or they flood their quarry, which basically means the moment that the quarry hits lava, the water touches the lava and turns it to obsidian, and the quarry can actually mine obsidian, because obviously it's made from a diamond pick, so it can mine obsidian quite easily. What you have to remember, though, is that if you do have a big quarry and you fill it with water, it can sometimes lag a little bit. So what I tend to do is just let it go manually, and also let it go on its own, and then if I do hit lava, I'll just pour a bucket of water in, turn it to obsidian, and then pull the bucket of water back out. The quarry can also suck up anything that is at the bottom of the quarry that is a free-floating item. So, for example, if it goes ahead and kills a creature and there's a bow or a bone or a spider eye or something like that, it can suck that up. Well, at least it used to be able to. So, as you can see, these transport pipes aren't exactly the quickest. It's taken all this time and the blocks are only just starting to get to the chests. But as you can see, well, it's not exactly going 50-50, but as the blocks are travelling through the pipes, some are going one way, some are going the other. So it's going to get split between the two different chests. So that was always going to be an issue. And it's going to take quite a long time for this to dig out. But as you can see, looks like it's already struck some salt down there. So we might get some good stuff out of this. So what's coming up in the next few episodes? Well, like I said, I'd like to build the induction furnace. I'm going to put that on my shortlist. I don't know if that's going to be the next thing that I'm going to build, but I would like to get it quite quickly. Definitely want to get the multi-farm finished. I haven't done anything at all to this since the last video, if you watched that. So I still need to go and make all of the blocks. I still need to dig everything out down here. That won't take all that long. Haven't decided how deep I want to make it. One thing that I do need to do is... like I said, this 4x4x4 block is where the farm block is going to be. Below that, I need to put a block, or a few blocks, and a water source, and an aqueous accumulator ready for the farm block. I might do that off camera, because I already have an aqueous accumulator. There's, in fact, an aqueous accumulator just down in here. So, I've got an aqueous accumulator that I can repurpose if I wish. I'm not going to be able to get out of this hole now that I've jumped into it, so let's do that. So there we have an aqueous accumulator that we can reuse. And this is basically how this tank is working. It's basically two wooden tanks with an aqueous accumulator below it and some water source blocks. So we can easily go ahead and borrow that, use it for the farm. Still got to build all the farm blocks. At some point we'll have to come in here and harvest from the farm. One thing I would like to get is the cotton, because apparently cotton can be turned into string. And one of the things that I would like to do with the string is build a rope ladder. Now, if you haven't built rope ladders before, they work just like normal ladders do, but what you do is you use them from the top of somewhere, click on the side, and the rope ladder will drop down the entire length of the drop, or at least until you run out of rope ladder. So it's a good way of making a way down into deep holes. Of course, with the jetpack and stuff, we don't really need that yet. I assume there's probably some process we need to go through with the cotton before we can do that, which I need to look up, unless one of you guys tells me, but... Let's have a little look at the quarry and see how it's going on. So as you can see, if we look in the chests here, we don't even have a full stack in each chest. And but there again, we've only excavated, what, 5 rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we've excavated 5 rows of dirt, and we already have 3/4 of a stack in each chest, plus all the dirt that's currently in the pipes as well. So we've probably got 2 full stacks of dirt there. And luckily the dirt isn't too deep. On the next pass, we will be starting on the stone. But as you can tell, at this speed, it's going to take quite a while. Now, you can speed this up if you actually put more engines on, or if you put more powerful engines on. So I could go ahead and get a 3rd engine, but I'm in no rush. And like I said, I want to make sure that I can keep the chests empty. What sort of information is the unit giving us? The unit's not giving us any information itself. And these engines should be fine. Yeah, they're putting out 10 RF per tick. So I'm not sure what the optimal usage is for the quarry. One thing that I used to do on my old server is, instead of actually using BuildCraft engines for the quarry, is I actually used to use the industrial craft power and use the energy converter to run it off that, which can be quite useful. There's a little patch of lava that we have down there, down towards where that Eldritch obelisk is. Now, what I was thinking of, as I said before, is actually running BuildCraft pipes all the way from the quarry, all the way over here. I'd run it along the side of the bridge, down the side of the house into one of these rooms, and use it as a room for sorting. But I think it's a little bit far to run, and it'll probably cause a lot of lag. So what I'm going to actually do later on, not on this one, but I will build an item tesseract, and then wherever we build our quarry, anywhere in the world, all we need to do is just pump the stuff into the item tesseract. The other end of the item tesseract will be in the sorting room, and everything will just go through. So that'll work out quite nicely. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. We've actually managed to get the quarry going. I believe now it actually keeps chunks loaded. I think before, with quarries, you used to have to use world anchors. I know they've actually had the built-in world anchor for a while. When you actually put the quarry down, it tells you how many chunks it will keep loaded. I'm not sure if that's in the actual type log. Yeah, so as you can see, it says there at the bottom, when I actually put the original quarry down, it would have only kept 2 chunks loaded. Because I then replaced the quarry next to the landmarks, which is a much larger area, it's actually going to keep 9 chunks loaded. So you want to avoid having lots of quarries around, because it can cause a lot of lag. Now, the quarry probably won't get very far in between episodes, because as I've said before, this isn't running on the server. This is just a single player game on my local machine. So when I log out, the quarry will stop, and it's only going to really do anything while I'm actually playing the game. Though I do spend quite a bit of time, sometimes, playing off camera, just digging out holes and getting things ready and prepped for the other videos. So be prepared to see lots of junk coming out of that quarry. But there you are. We have our BuildCraft, Jonathan Ross again. We have our BuildCraft quarry, and there's still lots of new and interesting things we can build. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you are still enjoying Feed the Beast Infinity, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.